Batman is widely recognized as the Dark Knight, the Caped Crusader, and above all, the world's greatest detective. Yet, amid the spectacle of superhero battles, advanced gadgets, and a city shrouded in darkness, his most defining feature often remains overshadowed: his mind. Before he became Gotham's masked guardian, Bruce Wayne was a boy shattered by tragedy, and it was this trauma that shaped his path not just to heroism, but to detective mastery. The journey of Batman as a detective began the night his parents were murdered. Young Bruce Wayne stood in Crime Alley, his innocence torn apart by violence, his soul ignited by a quest for justice. But it wasn't vengeance that consumed him. It was the need for answers. Why do criminals exist? What drives them? How can they be stopped? To solve these questions, he needed more than strength. He needed intellect, strategy, and knowledge. He needed to become the ultimate detective. In his formative years, Bruce traveled the world, training under the greatest minds and masters of various disciplines. From forensic science to criminal psychology, escape artistry to acrobatics, his education was vast and relentless. He learned under detectives like Henri Ducard, mastered deduction techniques inspired by Sherlock Holmes, and studied under martial artists who taught him to read opponents' movements as if solving a complex puzzle. Each mentor provided a piece of the detective mosaic that would later define Batman's unparalleled investigative abilities. But it wasn't just about gathering information. Batman understood that to outsmart criminals, he had to think like them, anticipate their moves, motives, and fears. He developed a mind sharper than any weapon, capable of deconstructing even the most intricate schemes. This strategic brilliance set him apart from other heroes, not just as a fighter, but as an intellectual force to be reckoned with. Throughout his career, Batman has faced criminals who are more than mere brutes. From the psychopathic brilliance of the Joker to the cerebral challenges posed by the Riddler, each villain tests his mind as much as his body. And time and again, Batman emerges victorious, not because of his gadgets or his fists, but because of his detective skills, his ability to see through deception, connect disparate clues, and understand the human psyche at its darkest depths. This is what makes Batman truly terrifying to his enemies. They fear his ability to unearth their secrets, expose their lies, and predict their next move before they even think of it. In Gotham's underworld, whispers circulate not of his fists of fury, but of his mind, a mind that no one can outwit. To understand why Batman is revered as the world's greatest detective, one must explore his meticulous methodologies. Unlike other heroes who charge headfirst into battles, Batman dissects each situation with surgical precision, guided by his intellect rather than impulse. His approach to crime solving is a masterclass in strategy, patience, and relentless pursuit of the truth. At the core of Batman's investigative prowess lies his mastery of deductive reasoning. Influenced by literary detectives like Sherlock Holmes, Batman begins each case by gathering even the smallest of clues. A single hair fiber, a partial fingerprint, a faint scent. Nothing escapes his notice. He connects these seemingly insignificant pieces to form a coherent picture, often revealing the villain's identity or uncovering motives that even the criminal hadn't fully realized. His attention to detail is legendary, enabling him to solve mysteries that would baffle even the most seasoned detectives. Yet, deduction alone isn't enough. Batman's expertise in forensic science rivals that of any professional in the field. In the Batcave, he operates his own crime lab, equipped with state-of-the-art technology far beyond what Gotham's police possess. Using the Batcomputer's unparalleled processing power, he conducts DNA analysis, chemical breakdowns, ballistic matching, and even advanced digital forensics. Whether it's decrypting complex codes left by the Riddler or tracing a rare toxin to Poison Ivy's lair, Batman's technological arsenal ensures no lead goes cold. But technology isn't his only advantage. Batman employs traditional investigative techniques that amplify his effectiveness. He is a master of interrogation, using psychological manipulation to break even the toughest of criminals. Unlike other vigilantes, he doesn't rely solely on intimidation. He exploits his target's fears, guilt, and hidden desires. He can read body language with unnerving accuracy, detecting lies by observing subtle micro-expressions and changes in voice tone. His psychological warfare is so effective that even Gotham's most hardened villains confess under his icy gaze. Furthermore, Batman is unmatched in the art of disguise and infiltration. Using his mastery of escape artistry and mimicry, he can seamlessly blend into any environment. Whether posing as a street thug, a corrupt businessman, or even his own alter ego, Matches Malone, Batman gathers information from the shadows, undetected and unchallenged. This ability to gather intelligence firsthand provides him with insights no other detective could obtain, making him one step ahead of his enemies at all times. However, Batman's greatest weapon isn't his gadgets or his physical prowess, it's his mind. He approaches every case like a complex puzzle, thinking several moves ahead. His tactical genius enables him to predict his adversaries' actions, setting traps before they even realize they are being hunted. This strategic foresight is what makes him truly invincible. In Gotham's criminal underworld, it's said that the moment Batman gets involved, the game is already over. In the next installment, we will examine how Batman's detective skills have evolved through his encounters with Gotham's most cunning adversaries. From his psychological duels with the Joker to his cerebral chess matches with the Riddler, we'll see how each villain challenges his intellect, forcing him to adapt and grow. Batman's legacy as the world's greatest detective is not merely built on his skills or tools, but on the enemies he faces. Gotham City is a labyrinth of madness, where criminal minds weave plots as intricate as spiderwebs. To survive and win, Batman must navigate this psychological battlefield, engaging in mental duels that push his intellect to its limits. Nowhere is this more evident than in his confrontations with his most formidable adversaries. Among them, the Riddler stands as Batman's greatest intellectual rival. Edward Nygma, obsessed with proving his superior intellect, challenges Batman with puzzles and riddles designed to confuse, mislead, and taunt. But these aren't just games, they are traps set with deadly precision. In every encounter, the Riddler seeks to prove that his mind is sharper, his logic more flawless. Yet time and again, Batman deciphers his riddles, not merely by intelligence, but by understanding Nygma's psychology. He realizes that the Riddler's arrogance is his weakness. Every riddle is crafted to showcase his brilliance. By exploiting this vanity, Batman anticipates his moves, dismantling his schemes piece by piece. Then there is the Joker, the embodiment of chaos. Unlike the Riddler, Joker's schemes are unpredictable, defying logic and sanity. Yet, this is precisely why he is Batman's most dangerous opponent. The Clown Prince of Crime challenges Batman's detective abilities not through puzzles, but through moral conundrums, forcing him to question justice, sanity, and his very existence. To outsmart the Joker, Batman must think irrationally, embracing a paradoxical mindset to predict the unpredictable. It's a deadly chess game where the rules are constantly changing, and one wrong move means losing everything. But not all of Batman's intellectual battles are fought on the streets. Ra's al Ghul, the ageless leader of the League of Assassins, presents a different challenge. He is not merely a strategist, but a philosopher, challenging Batman's worldview and moral code. Their battles are not just about crime and justice, but about the future of humanity itself. Ra's sees Batman as his equal, even his heir, and their confrontations are battles of ideology. To defeat him, Batman must question his own beliefs, adapt his strategies, and prove that intellect is not just about knowledge, but wisdom. In each of these duels, Batman emerges victorious, not merely because of his detective skills, but because he understands his enemies deeply. He studies their pasts, their motivations, and their fears. He knows that defeating a criminal mastermind requires more than solving a crime. It requires unraveling the mind behind it. This insight into human nature, combined with his unyielding resolve, makes Batman an unparalleled detective. He doesn't just solve cases, he conquers the minds behind them.